There are moments when we seek clarity and guidance, especially when it comes to the people around us. We even ask God to reveal those who may hinder our progress. We pray for insight, asking God to reveal our enemies. What happens when the answer to our prayers arrives in a way we least expect? When God starts removing friends instead of exposing foes, it can feel confusing and even hurtful. God's response may surprise us. Instead of exposing foes, God may begin removing friends. In these moments, it's natural to feel perplexed and even hurt. Yet there's profound wisdom behind these divine interventions. Here are 5 reasons why. Certain friends are like threads that no longer align with the pattern that God intends for your life. Just as a weaver carefully selects which threads to include, God orchestrates the removal of friendships that no longer serve your highest purpose. It's not that these friends are bad people, but rather their presence may distract you from the path that leads to your greatest fulfillment and spiritual growth. In Matthew chapter 7 verse 6, Christ says, "Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces." This verse reminds us of the importance of discernment in our relationships. While not everyone may understand or appreciate the treasures within us, God does. He knows when it's time to separate us from friendships that may devalue our worth or hinder our progress. Through His divine wisdom, God leads us to the friendships that uplift, inspire, and align with the masterpiece of our lives. Our journey through life is filled with uncertain obstacles and pitfalls that can lead us astray. In His infinite love and protection, God removes certain friendships from our lives to shield us from harm and guide us towards path of righteousness. Just as a loving parent would steer their child away from danger, God intervenes to safeguard our souls and keep us on the path of His divine purpose. Proverbs chapter 13 verse 20 tells us, "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm." This verse highlights the significance of surrounding ourselves with positive influences. God knows that the company we keep can either uplift us or lead us astray. By removing friends who may lead us towards destructive paths, He demonstrates His unwavering commitment to our well-being. Trust in His wisdom, for He sees the dangers that lie ahead and lovingly guides us towards safer shores. Through His divine protection, we can walk confidently, knowing that He is always watching over us, steering us away from harm and towards a future filled with His blessings. Consider your life as a garden waiting to bloom with beautiful flowers. Just as a gardener prunes away dead branches to encourage new growth, God removes certain friendships to prepare us for greater blessings and opportunities. By letting go of relationships that no longer serve our highest good, God makes space for new connections that align with His divine plan for our lives. These new friendships are like seeds planted in fertile soil, ready to blossom into enriching and fulfilling relationships that nurture our souls and propel us towards our dreams. In John chapter 15 verse 2, Christ says, "He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, He prunes so that it will be even more fruitful." This verse beautifully illustrates God's process of pruning in our lives. Just as a gardener trims away excess growth to promote fruitfulness, God removes certain friendships to prepare us for greater abundance and fulfillment. Trust in His pruning process, for He knows the plans He has for us. Plans to prosper us and not to harm us. Plans to give us hope and a future. Through His loving guidance, we can embrace the journey of growth and transformation, knowing that every removal paves the way for new blessings to bloom in our lives. Imagine facing a storm that tests the strength of your foundation. The removal of friends by God can be a trial that strengthens our faith and resilience. During these challenging times, we are invited to lean into our relationship with God, finding solace in His comforting presence. It's in these moments of hardship that our faith is forged like pure gold, shining brightly even in the darkest of times. Romans chapter 8 verse 28 reassures us, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." This verse reminds us that even when we face difficulties, God is working behind the scenes for our ultimate good. Trust in His plan, for He is with us every step of the way, guiding us through the storms and leading us into the light of His boundless love and mercy. Consider the heart as a vessel that carries both love and pain. When God removes friends from our lives, He invites us to examine the contents of our hearts and souls. Through introspection and prayer, we can identify areas for growth, forgiveness, and healing. Just as a gardener removes weeds to allow flowers to flourish, God purifies our hearts by uprooting negative influences and fostering an environment conducive to love, joy, and peace. In Psalm 51 verse 10, David pleads, "Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me." This heartfelt prayer reflects the desire for inner purification and renewal. When God removes friendships, he invites us to echo David's plea, allowing him to cleanse our hearts and renew our spirits. Trust in his transformative power, for he can turn our pain into purpose and our wounds into wisdom. Through his loving guidance, we can emerge from the refining fire stronger, wiser, and more compassionate, ready to embrace deeper connections rooted in authenticity and grace. As we journey through life, let us hold fast to the truth that every removal orchestrated by God is a testament to his unwavering love and wisdom. Though the path may be challenging, trust in his plan, embrace the pruning, the refining, and the transformation, knowing that what may seem like a loss is often the prelude to abundant blessings. Through the pain of farewells, we discover new beginnings, deeper connections, and a profound sense of purpose. So let us surrender to God's will, for in his divine plan there is always love, redemption, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.